Anybody read the Bronte sisters? There's three of them. This is Anne Bronte. There's Charlotte and Emily. Okay, Anne, she was born in 1820, and she died in her 20s. Okay, so was she untold? Did the other sisters kill her? I don't know. I haven't read any of the books completely. I did try Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, but I was triggered because there was some bullying going on right in the beginning of the book, and I really wasn't ready to read it. I had just escaped domestic violence. So I started Anne's other book called The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and I loved her writing. I didn't finish the book yet, but I found today another book by Anne, and I liked the writing on the first one, so I wanted to read you like a page of this book. That's all, because this is about a lady who becomes like a nanny or a babysitter, caretaker, guardian of these three little kids. And the parents are still there. You know, this lady's just there too. It was like a tutor, governess. You see the Sound of Music? Anyway, I'm just going to read you one page of this book, all right? Because this is Anne Bronte's writing, and I think it's nice. Okay, hold on. How do you guys drink coffee with your glasses on without them getting all steamed up? All true histories contain instruction, though in some the treasure may be hard to find, and when found, so trivial in quantity that the dry, shriveled kernel scarcely compensates for the trouble of cracking the nut. Whether this be the case with my history or not, I am hardly competent to judge. I sometimes think it might prove useful to some and entertaining to others, but the world may judge for itself. Shielded by my own obscurity and by the lapse of years and a few fictitious names, I do not fear to venture, and will candidly lay before the public what I would not disclose to the most intimate friend. My father was a clergyman of the north of England, who was deservedly respected by all who knew him, and in his younger days lived pretty comfortably on the joint income of a small incumbency and a smug little property of his own. My mother, who married him against the wishes of her friends, was a squire's daughter and a woman of spirit. In vain it was represented to her that, if she became the poor parson's wife, she must relinquish her carriage and her lady's maid and all the luxuries and elegancies of affluence, which to her were little less than the necessities of life. A carriage and a lady's maid were greatly conveniences, but thank heaven she had the feet to carry her and the hands to minister to her own necessities. An elegant house and a spacious grounds were not to be despised, but she would rather live in a cottage with Richard Grey than in a palace with any other man in the world. Finding arguments of no avail, her father at length told the lovers that they might marry if they pleased, but in doing so his daughter would forfeit every fraction of her fortune. He expected that this would cool the ardor of both, but he was mistaken. My father knew too well my mother's superior worth not to be sensible that she was a valuable fortune in herself if she would but consent to embellish his humble hearth. He should be happy to take her on any terms, while she, on her part, would rather labor with her own hands than be divided from the man she loved, whose happiness it would be her joy to make, and who was already one with her in heart and soul. So her fortune went to swell the purse of a wiser sister, who married a rich nabob, and she, to the wonder and compassionate regret of all who knew her, went to bury herself in the homely village parsonage among the hills. And yet, in spite of all this, in spite of my mother's high spirit and my father's whims, I believe you might search all England through and fail to find a happier couple. Of 6 children, my sister Mary and myself were the only 2 that survived the perils of infancy and early childhood. So I'm not going to read you the whole book. I want to, but not in this video, okay?